We chatted with YouTooz CEO and co-founder Austin Long, and of course, we asked him about their collab with Dead by Daylight, how it happened, what it's like working with Behaviour, confirmed a new wave of Dead by Daylight YouTooz on the way, and so much more, including how you, yes you, are a big part in deciding which DBD characters they use next. So slash those like and subscribe buttons, get in the comments and let us and YouTooz know which DBD characters you want them to take from the entity next, and let's get into it.
I would say a bit of both. I mean, it really depends on the collector. I know for some people it's like a cardinal sin to take it out of the box. Some people really prefer to have the characters out and together. So I think at the end of the day, it's a personal preference, but I can see both sides to it.
Okay, fair. So you won't yell at me for it. Fair enough. Right.
No, not at all. Not at all.
I do keep the boxes though, if that counts for anything.
That part's important, yes. Yeah, throwing them away, I would say that's more of a sin. But as long as the boxes are kept somewhere, then at least if you do want to put them back in, you can.
Yeah. I'm going to start charging you guys storage space because there's a lot of your boxes in my damn basement right now.
They do stack up, yeah.
They do. You mentioned Dead by Daylight, though, and we have friends over at Behaviour, and it was super exciting because the fans of this game have wanted a figure, something that they can hold and put on their desk, just like we've been talking about for so long, and it was throughout their community very sought after. There was even teases of things that were coming and then never came, and it seemed like us getting collectibles for this was a dead and gone cause. And then boom, you guys come and save the day. And we have these, like I said, I have 3 of them on my desk right now. What is it like dealing with a game like that? Because they have so many characters now, and they're kind of a perfect example of how do you select? Like, what is the process of saying, okay, you guys have 100 characters that we could use. They're all great characters. What's the process of kind of narrowing down what you're going to select from this batch of characters?
Yeah, so they've been awesome to work with. The team there is so in tune with, what they want to see in product form, but also giving us kind of the runway to also be creative from our end. So it's been an incredible partnership so far. I think we're on our 4th or 5th wave of collaborations now, and we definitely have a lot more planned with them. But in terms of character selection, I would say it's a bit of both. Like, they definitely have an eye, and obviously they have the data too of fan favorites and who is playing what inside the game. So when we started working with them, there was definitely a bit of like, hey, here's some suggestions on like a top 10 that we would suggest. But there was a balance there where they also said, well, what do you all think? Like, what would look good in collectible form? Because characters can be awesome, but sometimes it's harder to, get them in a unique enough pose or capture them in a moment that fans are going to like. So It was definitely a balance. They've definitely had a lot of good guidance, though, in terms of what those iconic moments are and what they want to see, but also letting us push the boundaries. So like the Dwight figure is a great example where, we do have some partners and they're awesome partners, but they're like, hey, you just can't have blood on figures. It can't be too gory. Yeah. And with Dwight, they definitely let us go pretty crazy with it, which is always nice, when a partner allows us to kind of push the boundary. So yeah, they've been great, and I would say it's a bit of both. Each time we release a new collection, we also look through the comments on the release to see who else do people want. So we just announced the new wave. We'll be going through the comments of that one, and then I would say what's been especially fun, I think it was after our 1st or 2nd collection with them, they started opening up of like, hey, if you all want to do 3-way collaborations where it's YouTooz, X Dead by Daylight, X another franchise, we're also open to that. Which I think is great because, there are some franchises and some partners that maybe aren't comfortable with introducing licensed products that involve, a few companies in cases. But they've now allowed us to start leaning into that. And I think fans have really, really loved that. We've done Ghostface. We also just did Springtrap from Five Nights at Freddy's. It just makes for such a unique figure that kind of branches the franchises together. That we've been super appreciative that they've given us that trust and runway to be able to do that. And those oftentimes is us saying, hey, here's the other licenses we have. What are you all comfortable with on your end? Because it is important that we get all the stakeholders to sign off on those. So with Springtrap, we need Scott to sign off. We need the Dead by Daylight team to sign off. So there's a bit more emotion there, but I think fans appreciate the effort that goes into making those ones possible.
Oh yeah. You guys are on your 4th round with them currently, and
Yep.
I think it's Blight, Michaela, Springtrap, Nurse, and that was going to be something that well, you did it. I don't remember if it was the last round. I think it was the one before that with the Ghostface character that they,
Yes.
I guess, have whatever you want to call it. You touched on it, which was great, but was it Dead by Daylight that brought in that kind of triangular property deal, or have you guys been doing it before that? Because I was going to ask, what's that like? Because I know in the weeds with multiple licenses, dealing with one is tough enough. So now you guys are bringing in multiple. What's the challenges there? And because it's worked out great. I mean, you get kind of 2 layers of fans that you're making happy in one go.
Yeah, that's for sure. We've done it a few times. So with Dead by Daylight, we've done it with Ghostface, and then most recently Springtrap. We've done a few others with Ghostface. They allowed us. So Ghostface itself, the mask is owned by a company called Fun World. They also make the costumes, but they're the company that owns the underlying IP and the look of the character. Previously, they also let us do a crossover with Dead Meat, which is like a popular YouTube channel. I believe they have a podcast as well, which was fun because they had a cameo in one of the previous Scream films. We've also done it some with Five Nights. They let us do a crossover with Markiplier. We did one with Corey X Kenshin as well, where they let us do, like Markiplier, King of FNAF. So I would say we've done a handful of 3-way collaborations. We also just announced Hatsune Miku, X Fortnite, X YouTooz. The challenges generally are we're usually the one that has to have both the licenses. So it's pretty rare that a partner can kind of grant us a license on their behalf, because generally they only have rights to put it in the game or, whatever the medium is. They only have rights for that specific thing. So usually the way it works is we'll go to a partner and say, hey, we have this license over here. You have, obviously your core license. We see that you've done something in universe. So it wouldn't be us kind of creating a storyline where it doesn't exist. And then, we'll literally come up with the idea, concept it, and then pitch it to both partners. So in all of the cases and examples that I mentioned, we have to go to one party, get their sign off, and we have to go to the other to get their sign off. So the uniqueness to it is why we do it. We feel like fans love it. The challenge is then you might have 2 opinions on the design that might conflict with each other, and you have to find the middle ground. But thankfully, to date, we've had really good luck in navigating that and making sure that all sides are happy. And again, I think it's one of those things with YouTooz that does make us unique, because if we were putting these in a retail store, it might be a lot more challenging. The financials of it do get a little more complicated. Instead of paying one company royalties, we pay 2 companies royalties. So the margins are a little lower, but we feel like, the trade-off of having lower margins on a couple of products to make something especially unique is worth it. Which is why we do those. And I think we'll continue to do those. They're usually just on our website because it allows us to have a bit more control over, the financial side of it too. But it's super unique that partners even allow us to do it, because oftentimes it's, a strict no-go.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if you personally, but someone on your team, a mutual friend of, I guess, us and YouTooz in general, Polyester, who's a friend of our show. And Dead by Daylight as well. Always talks about how great you guys are to him and everything else. He is the collector guru. I think he would collect squirrels if he was quick enough to catch them. Like, he collects everything. I had to go to him. I told him that we were talking to you guys, and he was super excited. And I asked him, does the guru of collections have any questions for YouTooz? And he said, you nailed it already. He was saying that he was hoping for more DBD stuff, but he said he didn't really have a question. He had a statement. He wanted to thank you guys and tell you how happy he is for sticking out with the DBD brand through 4 waves and hopefully more. So, and I agree too that a niche market like horror, especially for fans like us, they don't always last. Sometimes they don't happen at all just because of the media of it all. And, you guys sticking it out with a horror title does mean a lot to the genre and gives us a lot more visibility and a lot more opportunities to get these things in our hands. It's just awesome that you guys do that. So I'm glad he mentioned that, because you guys do deserve a pat on the back for that, for sure.
Oh, that's awesome. I appreciate that so much. And we definitely love him. I know our team sends over like the new releases when we're working on them, and he always has such kind words to say. We definitely will keep doing more with Dead by Daylight. I believe next year is the 10th anniversary. So I don't know what characters yet. Obviously, we're always kind of keeping an eye on the comments and seeing what people want and balancing that, with what the studio thinks would be great. But we'll definitely be making more in the future, and super appreciative of the support that the fans have shown us.
Yeah. And also good for all the listeners to know that you guys do keep an eye on the comments and you do use that as kind of a gauge. And sometimes, most of the time, let's be honest, those comments just kind of go into the abyss. Like you're just speaking to speak, and which is fun, and you know all that stuff. But knowing that you guys actually look at them, actually take that into account is awesome.
Yeah, no, we definitely do. We actually just launched. It's kind of in beta, so we haven't fully announced it yet. But if you go on the site, you'll see it. We launched a platform called the Community, and we onboarded about 6 artists, like fan artists from the YouTooz community that have been with us almost since the start in many cases, that have designed products over the years where, they'll tweet out an idea they have and they'll sketch it out. Our team will see it and say, hey, that looks great. We'll literally commission them and work with them to bring that idea to life. So that new platform we launched is hopefully a way for us to bring even more of those ideas to life and make it easier. So we'll always read the comments, obviously, but our hope is that with this community platform, we'll be able to kind of highlight ideas that the community wants in an even better way and allow fans to contribute more to what those ideas are, and obviously financially to participate if those ideas come to life. So it's definitely something we'll continue to do, and nothing like that's going to change in the future.
That's great to hear.